In today's video we're going to be asking ourselves an important question. What if the Ebony Warrior was bad? Hi guys, I'm Mike the Gaming Dad and welcome back to the channel. Here is my take on the Ebony Warrior, the Ebony Scourge. I hope you enjoy. So I picked a Nord for this, but any race would suit really. A red guard would fit the original character mould. At the start here, let's go with Ralof. Now heavy armour and two-handed are going to be the cornerstones of this build, so don't bother with the Stormcloak light armour and one-handed axe. This Imperial Captain has the set where you want to start off with, so make sure you collect this. In total you'll want to raise 5,000 gold at the beginning, so still collect light armour to sell. And this Stormcloak soldier here will be carrying the first two-handed weapon we come across, so make sure you pick this up. Lastly, in this room, unlock the cage and pick up all the loot in here, including the mage robes. When Ralof stops and comments on the bear, don't proceed forward. Instead we're going to level our two-handed and sneak up. For two-handed you can just swing away, just make sure you don't push him too far forward. And once you get your first perk point, put this into sneak. Now to level sneak, use a dagger. The torturer carries a steel one. Make sure you're crouched down behind him and the eye is closed. This skill levels extremely quickly here. It's up to you how high you level these, but I'd recommend spending a bit of time and getting both skills to level 100. Once outside, time to do some resource collecting. Head to the Talos worship shrine and collect the dead Thalmor's robes and random enchanted item. And now head east from here to this bandit camp and take out these 3 bandits. Loot them all, as one of them will be carrying the first treasure map. And then collect these robes in this tent. At the standing stones, the first one we want to collect is the warrior stone, and this is so we start to get some quicker early levels into heavy armour plus smithing later on. Now head west over the river to Anice's cabin. Facing the cabin, turn a 180 and head over this rock face here. And pick up the flawless emerald from inside this skeleton. Now head southeast back over the river up to Embershard Mine. Near the entrance to the mine you'll find a pickaxe on the floor near 2 bandits. Collect this and then start mining any iron ores you find inside the mine. If you kill the bandit guarding this door you'll get the key to unlock it, and in here you'll find a spellbook, gold, weapons and a chest. Now it doesn't matter too much at this point, but I'm going to switch the axe over to this great sword, as this will be our weapon of choice for this build. You can collect the contents of the chest and then move on. There is some more iron ore later on in the mine, plus a smithing skill book here. You can read it or come back later when smithing is at a higher level, it's up to you. Towards the end of the mine, make sure you collect these gems, gold and chest in this little side room. Now if you did choose a Nord, before we go to Riverwood, head west to the waterfall and equip your battle cry power. Walk close to the waterfall and then use it pointing at the river. It'll kill any salmon nearby and release salmon roe, and it's this that we want to collect. You'll need 100 of these in total eventually, so it's up to you how you collect them. The easiest legitimate way is to deposit salmon into the fish hatchery at Winstead Manor. I'll show a quick exploit method as well later on. Now collect the treasure map 1 chest, which is opposite Riverwood inside a tree trunk. Once in Riverwood, speak to Gerda and see if she has any free stuff worth taking. Gems, rings and potions are all worth gold. Now sell most of what you have collected to the blacksmith and the shopkeeper in Whiterun. Only keep the enchanted gear so we can disenchant this later. And finally in Whiterun, pick up the woodcutter's axe, which is located just here on this table near the sawmill. Now let's head up to Whiterun. First chop some firewood at the block, and now sell this firewood to Holder in the Bannered Mare. In doing so, she will then let you take most things of low value, including this garlic, and this is the second ingredient after salmon roe you want to collect. It's quite a common ingredient, most houses will have it and most shops sell it. Again, you eventually want 100 of these. There is a house in Whiterun though that has about 10 of these. Wait until the Battleborns have bullied this old woman, such a nice family, and then go talk to her. She will have new dialogue options after being harassed by the Battleborns, and this will start the quest, Missing in Action. Now go to the Grey Main home, and on the bookcase in the main room is a bowl with a load of garlic in it. Wait until you are not being watched, and then you can steal it all and make a head start on the 100. Now head up to Dragon's Reach and progress the main storyline to Bleak Falls Barrow. Before we head there though, take a detour north to Halted Stream Camp. There's a ton of iron ore in here, so mine it all. There's also a load of goodies in here as well, so have a rummage around for any valuable loot. Aside from the iron ore though, the other item that is essential to collect from here is the spell tome Transmute Mineral Ore. Now you should have at least 60 iron ore by now, just from Halted Stream Mine and Embershard Mine. We'll need tons of this though eventually, so collect it whenever you can. What we will be doing with it all is turning it into gold ore. Equip a set of mage robes and hoard you've collected, as it'll make this process slightly quicker. And now cast a transmute spell over and over, and wait 1 hour. Your iron ore will become silver and your silver ore become gold. Once complete, smelt your gold ore into gold ingots. Sell any stuff you picked up in Halted Stream Camp. And now we are ready to go to Bleak Falls Barrow. Continue to loot your way through here and pick up the Dragonstone at the end. Return the Golden Claw to Lucan for a good chunk of gold, and in doing so he will also let you raid his garlic. Win-win. Camilla might start showing interest in you as well from now on.
You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger. You're not from around here. That makes 2 of us. I came here from the Imperial Province to work with my brother Lucan.
I don't recall asking Camilla, but okay. Progress the story through Dragon Rising and kill your first dragon. And it's at this point that we will get Lydia, who will help us on our journey. Now at this point you should have the 5,000 gold needed. We are on 5,600. I've also still got all this enchanted gear. If you are short on gold though, you can fight Uthgerd in the Bannered Mare for 100 gold. And also helping Carlotta with the Bard Micaiah will give you a hefty sum as well. Once you have the 5,000, go up to Dragon's Reach in the middle of the night and find Preventus. He should be asleep in his bed here. I'd recommend saving your game here in case you mess this up, but what you want to do is ask him about purchasing Bree's home, and before you say you will take it, position yourself so you are looking at this cabinet. Say you'll buy it and then quickly exit the conversation and open the cabinet before he takes the gold. I'll just demonstrate this like so. Now notice the gold hasn't gone. Put all of your gold in this cabinet and then close it. He'll then give you the key to the house, but he can't take the payment. Wait for him to go back to sleep and then you can just take all your gold from the cabinet. Now you have a home and we've got it for free. You can now furnish your home with all your gold. I recommend buying everything apart from the children's bedroom as it's the alchemy station we want. Now find the coachman outside and take a ride to Windhelm. Once here, head west along this river. It's this lake here that we are heading towards. Heading along this river towards the lake, you'll be able to collect Nordic barnacles. I've been scouring this area and I've managed to pick up 10 here. And again, it's 100 in total that you want. The northern shoreline right from Solitude across to Winterhold has them dotted around if you wanted to go scavenging for more. Alternatively, you can use the quick method I'll show later on. Now that is done, catch another coach and this time head to Riften. Go inside the Temple of Mara and speak to Dinya to start the Book of Love quest. It's 2 steps into this that we'll be given the Amulet of Mara, which we need, but continue the quest and complete the 3rd and final step, and this will grant the Agent of Mara perk, which boosts our Magicka resistance by 15. Now go inside the Bee and Barb Inn. If it's your first time in here, Maramel will be giving a speech. Ask him about having a wedding at the temple, and he will then tell you about wearing the Amulet of Mara, and this will unlock the dialogue option in any available NPC that you can marry. Oh Lydia, fancy seeing you here. Hey, do you want to get married? Yeah? Great. Now tell Maramel that you've already found a partner. That was quick. And now you can attend your wedding at the temple. I don't think I've ever tried this, but I'm assuming Lucan is a guest because he's someone we have helped. I wonder if the more NPC friends you have, the more guests come to your wedding. Let me know in the comments if this is true or not. Congratulations, you are now married. Now speak to Lydia and ask her to live with you in Whiterun, and this is so we can get the highest of the sleep perks. Back in Whiterun, I'll now show you the quick way of getting all the ingredients and gold ingots, if you don't fancy collecting them all of course. Drop everything you want more of on the floor in Whiterun, one by one, and then command your follower to pick them all up. Once that is done, walk outside the gate and then back in again, and everything will be on the floor still, but your follower will have it all in their inventory as well. You can repeat this as many times as you want to duplicate more and more items. I'll just show you how many gold bars I have now. 632. I think 650 is the safe bet, but we'll see how we get on. And now sleep in your bed. Because we have a spouse with us in Bree's home, you'll get the Lover's Comfort perk, and this is the highest of the sleep perks and grants a 15% boost. This coupled with the Warrior Stone boosts our smithing skill growth by a total of 35%. And you guessed it, time for some smithing. First create about 10 gold amulets, we'll use these for enchanting later on, and now turn the rest into gold rings. Oh man, look at that, so close. There must have been what, 1 or 2 gold bars away at most? Okay, if this happens to you, just buy some iron ore and leather strips and make a few iron daggers to hit 100. There we go. You don't need all these rings, I'm only keeping 10 or so I have the same amount as my amulets. The rest can be donated to Belethor. Time for a new standing stone now, and this time change to the Thief Stone. Back to Bree's home and I'll just show you my 3 ingredients. I've got about 115 to 120 of everything, but I think 100 should be fine. Again, make sure you sleep to get the Lover's Comfort bonus, and then head downstairs to your alchemy lab. Now combine your garlic, Nordic barnacle and salmon roe to make a powerful water breathing potion. And what you want to do is combine a couple to get to level 20, and then put 2 perk points in Alchemist and 1 in Physician. And then go up to level 30 and put 1 perk point in Benefactor. Then up to level 40 and put a 3rd perk point in Alchemist. And then up to level 60 and put a 4th perk point in Alchemist. And then up to level 80 and put a 5th perk point in Alchemist. And then finally, all the way up to level 100. And that's it, alchemy done. Look at the value of some of these potions. Keep hold of these as we'll be selling them to generate some gold. What you should have now if you have followed up to this point are 4 skills at level 100. Smithing, alchemy, sneak and two-handed. I'll throw all the perk points I have in the video description. What we are going to be focusing on soon are heavy armour, enchanting and some magic skills like alteration. But first, at this point your level will be over 30 and you should encounter someone called a Boethia cultist. On their possession will be a book called Boethia's Proving, and read this to start the Daedric quest, Boethia's Calling. Head back to the Bannered Mare in Whiterun and ask Hulda if she has heard any rumours lately. The quest we want is the one involving the Jarl's children. Ask Jarl Balgruuf about his strange children. This will start another Daedric quest, the Whispering Door. and we'll do this one right away. The quest concludes with needing to obtain a key into the cellar downstairs, and this can be stolen from Farengar easily enough. And now we can obtain the Ebony Blade, the sword we'll be using for this build. And now it's time to make our way over to Solstheim. Our first stop here is Colbjorn Barrow to speak to Skyrim's worst project manager, Rallis the Dark Elf. This location isn't far from Raven Rock, just make your way southeast. Speak to him to start the Unearth quest. Now this is going to get expensive. The first instance is only 1,000 gold, but we're going to need more, lots more. It'll be 3 days before you hear from Rallis again, so use this time to sell those potions we made. Milor back in Raven Rock will take them off your hands. And Fethis I also recommend visiting because he has more gold to trade with, plus he also has soul gems. Buy any filled soul gems he has at the same time as selling the potions. The ones we want the most are Petty, Lesser and Grand, but I'd recommend buying everything. You can also look for soul gems and sell your potions on Skyrim as well. After 3 days, Rallis will send for you, and each time you return there's been a catastrophe and everyone is pretty much dead, so you'll have to go in and clear out the Draugr. Each time you go in you also want to collect the Azadal's armour set pieces, the first time it's the boots. Now pay to start the next stage of the dig, 2,000 gold this time, and just repeat this cycle. Make sure you use the downtime to sell your potions and buy soul gems. The second time you enter Colbjorn, pull this lever here to reveal one of Azadal's rings. The third stage will cost you 3,000 gold. Pulling this lever here will reveal where Azadal's gauntlets are. In the room downstairs there's also another ring. Find it by stepping on all of these pressure plates. The fourth and final stage of the dig will set you back 5,000 gold. In this room, turn both pillars to whale to reveal where the chest plate is, and then turn them to eagle to get downstairs. Here, turn the pillars to snake to pick up the helmet, and now you have to face off Azadal himself. He's a pretty tough dragon priest, partly due to his powerful fire spells and flame cloak, so be ready. Once you defeat him, it is time to confront Rallis.
What happened? What have I done?
This is the important part. You'll have two options here, spare him or kill him. Let him go for now and he will say he's going to head to Raven Rock. Before we go and find him, there is another location we want to head to on Solstheim, and this is White Ridge Barrow up on the northern snowy part of the island. There is another dragon priest here, Dukan, the ice version of Azadal. Once you've beaten him, read the black book in this room, the Sallow Regent. The darkness will hurt you here, but it's a fairly straightforward path. Just run through to the top and pick up the ability at the end. Of the three options, we want the middle one, Seeker of Sorcery, to improve our enchanting and magicka cost reduction by 10%. Now let's find Rallis inside the retching Netch. Tell him you need him to come with you. Go back to Skyrim and make your way to the Shrine of Boethia. You'll need to make a sacrifice in order to progress Boethia's quest further. Command Rallis to touch the sacrificial pillar, and now you receive a blade of sacrifice here, but you don't need to use it. Instead, use your Ebony Blade. It will count as one of the 10 charges we need in order to power up the blade fully. And out of every follower, I mean Rallis probably deserves it more than most, right? After fighting off the other challengers, you'll have to hunt down the current champion of Boethia and slay them. In doing so, you'll be able to claim the Ebony Mail, the armour of choice for this build, which has an awesome triple effect of shrouding you in darkness, poisoning those which get too close, and muffling your movement. At this point, let's craft the rest of our ebony armour. I found most of the pieces on the champion, so I only need to craft a helmet. And this is the completed look, pretty nice. I actually like this without the helmet as well, but we'll go with the helmet. I've also put Lydia in ebony as well, including an ebony sword and shield and the ebony plate chest. Looking pretty damn good, Lydia, I must say. We need some enchantments to go with this sweet looking armour though, so start purchasing iron ingots, iron ore and leather strips from shops and blacksmiths. You'll need about 200 leather strips in total, and then 200 iron ingots and iron ore combined. Now hitch a ride up to Solitude. We are heading to Radiant Raiment here, and there are quite a few enchantments we need. I've bought items with Alteration, Conjuration, Restoration, just those 3 schools of magic we need. Then Smithing, Stamina, Health Regen, Two-handed Damage, Magic Resistance, Health, Heavy Armour and Alchemy. You may not need to buy all these by the way if you've been lucky enough to collect 1 or 2 on your journey already. Now go to the Fletcher and buy a bow with the enchantment that sends Daedra back to oblivion. This is the Banishing enchantment. This bow of Expelling will do. Now finally head to the Alchemist and buy an Enchanter's Elixir. This is the 25% version. Time to switch our standing stone again, this time to the Mage Stone. I've gone back to Breezeholm now to pick up all my other enchanted gear which I'd left in the chest, and now time to sleep for the sleep bonus. Disenchant all your stuff up at Dragon's Reach. I got up to level 43 which is a nice head start. Now to make some daggers. Time to level up our enchanting. On each dagger you want to put the Banishing enchantment on. Here are all my soul gems I've been collecting. Start with the petty ones and work your way up through each size. Once done, your enchanting should look like this, with 8 perk points used, 5 in the base, and then go up through the middle of the tree up to Twin Souls. It wouldn't be one of my guides if we didn't make a mess of Farengar's bedroom. Look at all these knives. It's now time to gather some alchemy ingredients. Purchase Blisterwort and Blue Butterfly Wings from any alchemist. Most should stock them. You also want to find the Khajiit caravans and purchase Drurg Wax, Gold Cannet and Stoneflower Petals, and these can be a pain to get hold of, like a real pain. I had to do the save, attack and reload trick tons of times to get these. Now head back to the blacksmith and craft yourself 2 hide armours, 6 hide bracers, 6 hide helmets and then a full heavy armour set. It doesn't need to be orcish, any will do, just ensure it's heavy and a full set. Before we start enchanting, I picked up a few more Grand Soul Gems in order to do this. I did this by picking up some of the daggers and then selling them to generate the gold for it. Now the first set of enchantments we will be doing doesn't require us to use our potion. On one of our 10 gold amulets, put Fortify Alteration and Fortify Restoration. Repeat this on a gold ring, your heavy armour helmet and heavy armour chestplate. On a second amulet, put the Fortify Conjuration enchantment on. Repeat this on a ring, hide chestplate and hide helmet. Now unequip all the armour you are wearing and put on 4 pieces of the Azadel set. Only 4 pieces, this is important for the boost to work. And now take your 25% Enchanter's Elixir and enchant a gold amulet, gold ring, hide bracer and hide helmet with Fortify Alchemy. I've no idea why I went down to the Alchemist when there is an alchemy table right there in Dragon's Reach, but anyway, unequip everything and equip these 4 pieces, and now combine Blue Butterfly Wings with either Drurg Wax or Stoneflower Petals, it doesn't matter which one, and this will make a stronger enchanting potion. And now it's time to repeat those 2 steps. Unequip everything and re-equip the 4 pieces of Azadel's armour. Take your potion and then make 4 new Fortify Alchemy pieces. Now I looped this around 4 times until I had an 83% enchanting potion. I made 3 of these as well so we had enough to do all the enchantments we need. Re-equip Azadol's armour and take one of these, and this time put Fortify Alchemy plus Fortify Smithing on a gold amulet, ring and hide braces. Then Fortify Alchemy on a hide helmet and Fortify Smithing on the second hide chest plate. This is going to be our crafting set, which we will keep. The other alchemy sets can be sold. Now take another enchanting potion and on your ebony boots put stamina and two-handed damage. On your ebony gauntlets put heavy armour and two-handed damage. On your helmet put restoration and conjuration. And now let's take our last potion. On a gold necklace put fortify health and health regeneration. And finally on a gold ring put resist magic and two-handed damage. Back to the alchemy table one final time, and with your final set, combine Blisterwort and Gold Cannet for a Fortify Smithing Potion. If you want to increase your damage output, Dragon's Tongue and Fly Amanita will make a Fortify two-handed potion, and both are fairly common ingredients in Skyrim. Time to level up our gear. Head to a blacksmith and take your smithing potion. Improve all 4 ebony pieces with 4 ebony ingots. And now let's level up a few more of our skills. To do this, get the best flesh spell you can buy, and mine was the stone flesh spell. Also purchase Soul Trap and then a restoration spell, ideally fast healing or higher. Sleep in your bed and now tell Lydia to wait at home. You need to do this next part alone. Find a willing test subject outside and equip your 4 pieces that reduce conjuration magic cost. And now continually spam the spell on the body to quickly level conjuration, and do this all the way to level 100. Now equip your heavy armour set with restoration and alteration reduction, plus the ring and amulet. And there's a giant camp near Whiterun. Go and annoy the giants. And now what you want to do is have your healing spell in one hand, your flesh spell in the other, and just continually cast them both whilst getting hit and managing your health bar. You'll start levelling heavy armour, restoration and alteration simultaneously. It's relatively quick, this process, not as quick as conjuration, but do this until heavy armour reaches level 100. Alteration should be the first skill to hit 100, and my restoration reached level 60 doing this, which is fine. It's heavy armour we are mostly interested in. Now the standing stone we want for this build is the Lord Stone. It's generally the best choice anyway, however I'm going to show why I've picked it now. If we look at our magic resistance, we have the 15% from the Agent of Mara perk, we have 10% lesser magic resistance perk, and what this is the perk here, the first version of it. I've only picked up this one to save my perks for elsewhere, and this is why. We also have 35% from the ring we enchanted, so that's 60% so far. And finally the Lord Stone grants 25%, and this takes us up to 85%, which is the resistance cap in the game. There's no need to go any higher. Now our magic's levelled up, let's head up to Winterhold to join the college. We only want a few spells here. Firstly find Colette and buy the best healing spell you can find. It's likely to be Close Wounds. And now find Finis and buy the Conjured Remora Lord spell. And now it's time to power up our Ebony Blade. We need to kill 10 friends or people we have done favours for to do this. Well, technically 9 now thanks to Rallis. Completing the letter quest for either Sven or Faendal counts as one.
I'd better get going.
Oh, lovely. Because we have returned the Golden Claw, the Valeria siblings come as a 2-for-1 deal, so let's cash in. I mean, who needs a shopkeeper in Riverwood anyway?
I can feel their heartbreak swelling in my blade.
Lovely. The Dark Brotherhood targets also count as long as you have completed their favours before starting the assassination attempt. The first of these contracts you get is Narfi. To gain his favour, ask him if he is okay and he'll start talking about his sister.
Everyone looked and no one could find her. Wilhelm said she'll be back. Told Narfi not to worry. Rada will come back.
And now talk to Wilhelm, who will give you the location of where to look. And underwater you'll find her remains and her necklace. Return to Narfi and tell him you found her necklace, and then you can either say she'll be home soon, or tell Narfi the truth.
Oh no. No. Narfi never got to say goodbye. Now Narfi's all alone. At least Narfi has Rada's necklace. Reminds Narfi of his sister. Thank you for giving this to Narfi.
And now when you pick up the contract to kill Narfi, if you use the blade, it'll count as one of your 10 kills. But more targets are needed. Stray dogs count as well. If you encounter one on the road, tell it to wait here, and now follow me, which recruits it as a follower. And you know what's coming next. A piece of your soul dies for killing this poor dog.
Their tears shine the ebony to a sharpest gleam.
And if you're feeling particularly brutal, go take out Lydia as well if you want. Spouses most definitely count.
If you don't mind, I'm going to start a small store. Something to do whenever you're on the road.
The blood of deceit is a nourishing flow.
Wait, stop. Are we really doing this? And this in itself is a curious problem with the Ebony Blade. 10 friends is a lot to murder in cold blood to power it up fully. Well, there is a way you can bypass this if you wanted to play this build but didn't want to get your hands dirty. Find Revus Sarvani on Solstheim and buy from him the Resonance Gem. There are a few of these dotted around Solstheim. Another one is in Falbethars. At the end of this Dwemer ruin you'll find it in the treasure room on a plate. And now head to Kagramez. Kill the Reavers in here and one of them will be carrying 2 more of the Resonance Gems, and now with 4 we have enough to complete all the trials. Place a gem into the middle left and bottom right holes, and this will cause the cage to rise, and then you'll have to fight a load of Dwemer machines. The next time do top middle, and bottom right. And then the third time do top left, middle centre, bottom left, and bottom right. And now you will have unlocked all of the trial rooms. The last contains a very powerful bow, but it's rooms 1 and 2 we want for this build. Room 1 has this steadfast spider in it. Talk to it and ask it to follow you. And now you can kill it and it counts as one of the 10 kills. And now make your way to the second room, and this contains a steadfast dwarven sphere. Again, ask it to follow you and repeat.
Excellent work, child.
And now if you head outside and wait 24 hours, both dwarven machines will respawn, meaning 5 cycles of this and you can power up your sword to the max without needing to spill anyone's blood.
The blood of deceit is a nourishing flow.
At this point now, your build will be pretty much impenetrable. I'll just demonstrate this by setting the difficulty to legendary. Let's let this snow bear have a few hits and watch our health bar. And now watch how quickly it regenerates as we swing. I'll just demonstrate this on a more powerful enemy like this ancient dragon. Even though the Ebony Blade is a 2-handed weapon, it swings like a 1-handed weapon, and magic will barely touch you. Now I wanted this build to incorporate some level of magic. Closed Wounds is more as a last resort really should you ever need it, but Conjuration felt like it would fit this build. After all, you've sold yourself out to two of the worst Daedric princes there are, Boethia and Mephala, so it felt right that you could summon Dremora now to aid you in battle. And your ability to take hits and recover your health quickly felt like a nice perk from your Daedra masters. You can take far more punishment than a normal man could and walk away untouched. If you do like the Conjuration route I've chosen, you may want to dabble with this shout as well, the Soul Tear shout. And this does 300 points of instant damage, so it can kill instantly. If it does kill, it'll raise the body to fight for you as a thrall. And again, I like this ability. It feels like it fits well seeing as you are the Daedra's bringer of death on Skyrim. Even the toughest of foes like Dragon Priests won't be able to touch you now. And that's my take on the Ebony Warrior, the Ebony Scourge. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe, and that way you'll always stay up to date with my latest Skyrim content. I'm Mike the Gaming Dad, and I'll see you next time.